Good morning. So, let me explain a little bit about this week's assignment, the 6.12 team. Now, the past couple of weeks, we've spoken a little bit about personality types. I put y'all together based on your personality types. For a really good team, the very best team, you will have one of each of the 4 different personality types, because where one is weak, the other will be strong. So y'all fill each other's gaps, and that makes you a stronger team. It also presents a little challenge because each of you have different things that can be annoying, and you have to learn how to recognize what you do that annoys people or might not be the best team trait. And you also have to realize that whatever somebody else is doing that's not a good team trait or might be annoying, how you can help them be a more productive member of the team. So it's learning how to work together and become very productive. Now, let me explain just really briefly about the personalities. The sanguine, those of you who got sanguine, that means that you're generally a happy, hyper-go-lucky. You're usually the person that comes up with the crazy off-the-wall ideas, and a lot of times people don't listen because they think that's ridiculous. But the truth is, as a team, y'all need to listen to that sanguine person. Even if it seems very off the wall, they're the ones that will come up with the unique, out-of-the-box ideas. And so y'all need to work together as a team to figure out how to make those unique ideas more logical so you can combine the two. Now, one of the drawbacks about sanguines is that sometimes they get sidetracked. And so as a team, y'all have to work together to pull that sanguine in and help them stay focused and be productive. Now, the next personality is cleric. The sanguine and the cleric are both extrovert, are easy to talk to people personalities. Now, the cleric likes to get things done. They want it done right. They want it done well. They want it done quickly and precisely. And their way is the only way. All right? So, a cleric is very good at getting things done. They might tend to step on people's feelings and hurt their feelings without even realizing it, because they just want to get the project done and done right and done quickly and efficiently. These are good things, but you can go overbearing and knock everybody else out of the group. So you, as a cleric, need to work on pulling everybody in to the group and helping them, pulling them in. The cleric is a natural leader, all right? And being a leader is a good thing, but you also, as a good leader, you need to learn how to use each other's strengths. All right, so that's cleric. Cleric and sanguine are the ones who don't mind talking. So if you ever have to do a presentation in front of people, usually your cleric or your sanguine is going to be the ones that are most secure in doing that. Now, the next two, the melancholy and the phlegmatic, those are usually your introvert personalities, the ones who are more quiet, who aren't into walking into a group of people and talking. So recognize that if you're a melancholy or a phlegmatic, that you're going to have to make yourself participate. As a cleric or a sanguine, you have to work to pull those phlegmatics and the melancholies into the discussion. For them, it takes a lot of building and saying, you're okay, that's great. And anytime you're working in a team situation, you never, ever, ever say that's a dumb idea. That is the worst thing you could ever say. Nobody in the team is going to speak after that, especially not your melancholies and your phlegmatics. Now, melancholy are the people who like to make, they're called the charts and the graphs people. They like their structure, they like their organization, they like things perfect, all right? So the good thing about a melancholy is that if you want it done right, you give it to a melancholy to do it. And the bad thing about a melancholy is that it's never good enough. All right? Tell me if any of you identify with this. A melancholy will do what looks amazing, and then they'll see something that needs to be fixed, and they'll do a little more. And then they see something that could be done better, and they'll do a little more. All right? So melancholies tend to keep doing it over and over, and they will keep working at it. and never quite get it done because it can always be done better. All right. So as a cleric, if you become the natural team leader, then you're the one that has to figure out how to get the melancholy to say that's okay, it's acceptable, without bruising their ego, without pushing them too hard, because that if you push the melancholy, it will just stress them out. All right. So you got to pull them into the conversation. You got to doing saying that's a great job, and they have good information. If you can get them to talk, they have great ideas. All right, so now you're a phlegmatic person. The phlegmatics are very interesting people. There's a saying that goes, you can't stop a phlegmatic with a goal. All right, a phlegmatic person with a goal, something that they want to achieve badly, assumes the best out of all the personalities, and they're unstoppable. Right? Now, a phlegmatic without a goal, it's hard to get them to participate at all because they're very laid back, which that's great. They are your mediators, usually the people who mediate problems between groups of people, between nations. Those are your phlegmatic personalities, and that is awesome. Okay? But the problem is that you've got to continually pull them into what's going on to get them to participate. All right? So if you'll remember that your job is to recognize your personality and how it doesn't work with the others and how it does work with the others, and then to figure out how to take your best traits and how to pull everybody in and do a group project. Now, with this project, 6.12 team, now I am looking at your screen. Now, 6.12 team, it's on page 200 in your book. And if you'll read that in your book, it says, study the following message in teams or in class discussion. You're doing teams. List at least 5 specific weaknesses. For a bulleted list of 5 weaknesses in that email. Now, you have, I'm sure, read the chapter and studied it well, and you realize all the different things that we've studied. So we've studied like redundant phrases, wordy phrases, flabby expressions, long lead-ins. All these things in a business environment are not good. Business people are super duper busy, and you need to make sure that you're short, concise, straight to the point. All right? So when you're doing your bulleted list of errors or things that aren't good in the document, look back at your book and see things that we covered in that chapter and use that to come up with your 5 weaknesses. Now, if your instructor directs, revise to remedy these weaknesses, and that is what I want you to do. You will revise this email and fix it so that it is concise, short. Bulleted lists are always great. Gets the message across very clearly but concisely. Look for ways to improve readability with bulleted or numbered points. And so there you go. There's big hints right there. Also notice that in an email you never say sender's comma, right? You'll say morning or some kind of, it's not like a normal letter. Also, you don't just sign your name at the end. Usually you'll have a closing that has like your name and your title or something like that. You'll say regards or with regards, some kind of closing in there. Also notice that in an email you'll have one blank line in between each paragraph. That each paragraph is not indented at all. It's straight up and down. And that at the end of each sentence you have one space. Okay? Now, some of us grew up with it being 2 spaces. Microsoft made a change and everybody's gone to 1 now. So I'm kind of flexible on that as long as you're consistent. If you do 1 space at the end of each sentence, it needs to be at every sentence. If you do 2 spaces at the end of sentences, that's okay, but it needs to be done on every sentence. All right. With that said, you as a team are going to work together. Now, here is your assignment. Okay, page 200, I've created teams based on your personalities. Remember that all of you have something different to offer, and remember that strengths and weaknesses, y'all can use them to work together. Now, I went out of my way to put different personalities together because different personalities make the best team. The best team. And I'm sure you will have a blast. But I also want to point out one of the things I don't like about teams is that sometimes there are people who don't participate, and that's just not right in life nor in classes. So if you look down here, 6.12 participation, you will assign each of your team members a fair grade, okay, a fair grade based on their participation in this project. So if they worked equally well with everybody, then they get an A. If they only did the bare minimum and that's it, then they get a C. If they did nothing at all, then they get an F. That's it. Make sure you type their name, dash, their grade, dash, and then your reasoning for that grade. And I will average those all together, and that's going to be that grade. So hopefully the people who don't like to participate will choose to do so, because it's so much more fun when everybody plays, right? So when you submit this, if you'll, there we go. When you submit this, you will see that you only have to submit it, one person only has to submit it, because I've got it set up so that it's the team. So when I grade it, the one grade will go on everybody in the team, okay? And if this will open, you'll be able to see. But it looks just like the rest of your assignments, except that only one person needs to upload it. So you'll see here, I have the group name as group. For me, I put myself in group 3 just so that we could try this out. And all you have to do is browse your computer, upload the document, and hit submit, just like before, but only one person has to do it. Okay, pretty cool, right? So I'm going to hit cancel now. Now, if you look at the bottom, here's your navigation bar here on the left. If you look down at the bottom, you see your group, and you can click on your group, and there are a lot of Blackboard tools that you can use. If you send the emails, that's great. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and use Google Docs instead of the file exchange or the collaboration, because, and you can do it that way if you want. It just seems that going through Blackboard for that is just a little clunky, and Google Docs is amazing. It's a great way to share documents. So you can go through here, you can send an email to everybody in your group, and then you can say, hey, what's your email? Let's start up a Google Doc, or you can go into your, hold on, I will find it, your discussion board. Here we go, group discussion board. You can go into your group discussion board, create a thread, and basically say, hey, let me click on there. These poor guys got stuck with me. Click on create a thread and say, hey guys, what's your email? Let's get started on Google Docs, and maybe include the email address, which is Google. If you go to Google online, I'm going to show you how to do that in a second, and you can sign on to Google Docs. All right, and then y'all can share information back and forth here. This is awesome. I love the Blackboard discussion boards. So y'all can talk all you want by using the discussion board. A lot of people in the world work with teams of people that they've never met, that are in different states, different, and they never actually get to work together face to face. So I think this is going to be a great exercise. It's going to be good for you to know how to do that. I know a lot of applications are job requests that I've looked at in the past, or here recently especially, that a lot of people are saying something. So this is very important. So the next video is going to tell you how to set up a Google Docs and get that started. That'll be a really short video, and I will talk to you later. Have a great day.